Hello, everybody, and welcome back to League Zero Season 3 Advanced Division. I'm your caster, Mob Killer, joined by my faithful partner, Sai.
Oh, thank you so much, Mop, for the great introduction. And, I'm super excited to be back. And we have a really unique match today in our hands. If you guys, the viewers are not keeping up with the standings right now, both Powerhouse and Vertigo actually are 4-0 right now. Oh, the only difference that's setting them apart
0 and
at this
4.
point, yeah, it's literally just map difference. So, I'm really excited to see because somebody has to win today. That's just how Overwatch works. One team takes the win. So I'm excited to see what team take this away. And this is actually the first time I'll be seeing these two teams really go head to head and against each other and play it out. So I'm excited to see what the players bring, what strategies they've been talking about. I'm pretty sure they have had an eye out for each other. So let's just get it rolling, Mob. What are your thoughts? I know you had some little bets right there. You want to see who to win. So what are your thoughts coming in? What do you think about this so far?
Um, I think this is going to be a very interesting match, probably reminiscent to the what has been dubbed the toilet bowl of Overwatch League Season 3 of the Houston Outlaws versus the Boston Uprising. Probably not on that level of embarrassment because these are still two very competent teams. But I think both sides, you have a lot of newer players to their rosters that you want to be looking out for. Both of these teams making significant pickups since the start of the season. Vertigo bringing up, sorry, Powerhouse bringing up 3 players since the initial draft, and Vertigo picking up 5. So very interesting. Both of these teams, you have a lot of rookie players that are going to have to prove themselves in this match, and I think this is the best way to do it.
Yeah, no better than doing this right now, going head to head and talking about really proving themselves. The first map we have is Legion Tower, a very versatile map. It's personally one of my favorite maps to watch when it comes to 2 CPs. I mean, not 2 CPs, control points. And so, I'm really excited to see what they bring out because we've been seeing a lot of mostly just a lot of either Sombra Reaper composition lineup. So now Legion Tower really opens up a lot of options. You have Market, you have Legion Tower Market and Legion Tower Garden, where you could run this Pharah composition and really annoy the other team if you're playing it correctly. So I want to see what compositions they bring out here. If they want to delve into something different than rather just running the Sombra Reaper composition, or even a different tank lineup, maybe Wrecking Ball. I've seen yesterday, I don't know if you guys were watching the expert lineup, there were some you know, uh, really interesting compositions coming out there. So I wonder if they will maybe go for something different. But I'm super excited. We'll be getting started soon. But other than that, chat, let us know what your thoughts are. Who do you think will be winning or taking this trophy as a win home?
Yeah, this is very interesting. Especially the meta is probably going to be the most unique thing ever since Overwatch League playoffs have really come out. This Shadow Dive esque compositions with the Reaper and Samba being like the stable picks, with maybe swapping up the tank line or support line. But this sort of playstyle has become very prevalent in almost all levels of League Zero, with obviously some exceptions due to maps. But I think one thing to definitely look at is between this week and last, or 2 weeks ago, since we did have a bye week, there has been the Overwatch update with the patch notes, with the buffs to Baptiste, Brig, McCree, May, and Symmetra, and the nerf to Widowmaker. I think especially the one on McCree and Baptiste could prove very heavy in this meta if played correctly on these players.
Yeah, and definitely agree. The buffs that coming out really does change the dynamic quite a bit. Maybe not completely changing, shifting the meta just yet, but over time, I'm pretty sure that will definitely take going, consideration. But one of the buffs that I really enjoy was actually a bit older buff. It's actually the soldier buff, and I haven't
Yes.
seen a lot of people utilize the soldier yet, because if you guys are not aware, right now soldier does not have the bullet spread anymore. Instead, he's just a has a those classic
Recoil.
shooter recoil. Exactly. So if you're good with controlling his recoil, you could really beam down a lot of characters and do a lot of damage, especially to shields. So I'm excited to see how they kind of roll that, or how different teams utilize these buffs and nerfs. Definitely, you mentioned the buff coming out from Baptiste. I want to see if anybody utilizes them, maybe, because that's just a little field, a lamp of invulnerability for a little while. So maybe they'll pull it out. Maybe you'll do something. But considering we do have a Sombra on the maybe a Sombra composition coming out from one of these teams, I think that's very highly doubtable. But hey, you never know, right?
Yeah, I think a big thing to also look at on that soldier buff, I do have as a player have some scrim bugs that composition being favored by a lot of teams on map dependent, especially with those long sight lines, is a shadow dive or a brawl with a soldier echo. It's high shield break, high poke, with a very high ultimate game. It can even counter the likes of the Samba Reaper Shadow Dive if played correctly. So with that soldier buff, it is a thing you can definitely look out for. Baptiste obviously getting an heals per second and damage per second buff on both aspects of his kit. Very interesting to look at. We're just waiting on the start. Both these teams definitely preparing, talking to the squads respectively about the game strategy. I'm excited to see the different compositions we may see, or the same compositions we might see across Lijiang Tower. As Lijiang, obviously, even before the meta was very fluctuating and was stable on double shield, Lijiang was one of those places where you could see variety. You'd see the birth of Junkrat and Symmetra before they were really heavily used on that control center. Those close range Reinhardt esque battles that are ready to come out. A
Yeah,
lot of these
and
players
yeah,
definitely
and we
being prepared.
definitely have seen that multiple times actually at the beginning of season 3 of Overwatch. I mean, League Zero, multiple times we're talking about how using a lot of spam damage against this double shield or just Reinhardt composition is so good, especially a control center where everything is just so close quarter. You could just bounce off all the grenades from Junkrat and do immense amount of damage. But as we're talking, we are loading into Lijiang Tower, so soon enough you'll be seeing that in your screen. Other than that, I have to ask Mob. We need to make predictions right here. The teams are getting warmed up. Everybody's getting ready to play right now. What are your predictions? Let's say who wins and by how many points.
I think these teams do seem fairly evenly matched. It's going to come down to the players of these rookie talents and the team coordination they've been able to build in such a short time. I will have to go with Vertigo though. I think Vertigo at the bottom of the standings, only down one map, but that one map is a lot of the driving force. I think they're definitely ready. We're seeing some interesting compositions on this control center that we did talk about previously.
Ooh, now I really like the Sigma pick from Kit coming out, but staying on that Sombra and Bobby, of course, the Junkrat we talked about, the notorious Junkrat. So that's already a insane amount of damage that's going to be pumped out by them. But look at this weird rotation from Soldier. He's going all the way to the
Oh,
point.
Kit finds the pick.
Yeah,
Kit just
that
getting
was
such an easy pick.
huh.
Yeah, Kit finding two in the fight. This brawl comp isn't able to brawl with this very mobile, flanky kind of style, and they're immediately forced to roll out, as they're going to take
Oh
first
my
capture
god.
very easily. Ultimate
Wow,
advantage definitely going in their favor.
yeah, and that was just so dominant. Like I did not, me and you, we both just didn't even get the time to talk right there. And I was just mentioning Lighthouse's flank right there with the soldier, and that's just so much mobility. He set up that crossfire. He just caught the entire team off guard. When they turned their shields around to deal with Lighthouse, Kit was just throwing out so much damage. Ended up getting two picks to open up the fight, and then Operex right there took it to on his own hand, just took the matters to his own hand and just finishing people left and right. And look at that, Mob, another
Oh,
pick coming out.
from the Discord coming out from Dad and Opox, on the Tracer, barely gets out with the life. Looks like we will have Vertigo switching over to the Grand Finals Overwatch League composition. The influence of Overwatch League will not be estimated on this stage, as Vertigo is taking the point presence. Powerhouse kind of giving them the space that they need. They know they have to give the flankers angles of flank. Pulseball comes out, finds Stake. Stake, and he knocked down earlier at the minefield, coming on a point. Oh, is stuck on a point and immediately dies. And they can't even build up ults on the side of Vertigo. They're getting picked off so quickly as they're forced to retreat.
And how do you even deal with this so scattered composition of Powerhouse that they're playing right now? Like, you're getting flanked from two different sides. Both Operex and Lighthouse are just setting up crossfires constantly. And once you're turning your attention to them, you have another person, Kit, who's just shooting out his rocks and, you know, his fellow little rocks doing so many damage. It's really interesting, but look at this. Some ultimates coming out.
The Visor, both support ults used by Vertigo just to touch this point. The hook coming out on the Lighthouse finds him. Vertigo finally in the driver's seat as Kit is a little bit forced back, but it might be a little bit overextension by the Wrecking Ball. Transcendence comes out, but they're already down 2. It's 4v6. They're gonna need a clutch to come out soon. Dad using the support ults. Both support ults coming out for Powerhouse. The Pulse Bomb finds Dad, but Bobby Shorter kills himself. A Stake finds Kit with the Deadeye. The Pulse Bomb attached on the Stake once again, another time. This is anyone fight like the rally fading. The Invincible Brig is not invincible anymore, but the Wrecking Ball joins back into the fight as the whole hog comes out from Cannon. LPN trying to heal as much as they possibly can. Both supports still alive. For the side of Vertigo, the hook comes out on the Brig and finds it. And now it looks like Vertigo is going to be pulling ahead as the Wrecking Ball is forced to spin out. But knowing that it's 99, it's not really a point to solve. But I say that as Powerhouse has come back, Opox does get picked off as LPN gets a Coalescence and finds 2 with it. The hack coming out onto the Wrecking Ball, but the Mine finds 2. The Dad finding 1. It's 3 down on the side of Vertigo. Stake, LPN, and the Sigma is all what's left to point. Oh, it's so falling so low. Their point is flipped, but I don't know if they can hold on to this. The Moira running out of juice, she gets knocked back into the mines. There's just 2 left on point. Stake on the Sombra. The respawns all coming in for Vertigo, but LPN's gonna fall very soon. LPN does. It's just a Lucio on point. Stake in the Invisible on the side, and both of them get taken out. And the point is looking to go back over to Powerhouse. And Stake falls as well. It's just the Roadhog left that can even touch you, but he's not going to be able to touch. And that's going to be round 1 going to Powerhouse.
Wow.
What a fight.
What a fight. Like, definitely is one of the longest fights we have seen so far, and you have to give credit to Powerhouse being alive throughout the entire skirmish right there. They were just so... They knew their limits. They knew when to go in, when to go out, how to really extend the point timer right there. Even though Vertigo did manage to flip the point, only get, I believe, 7% or so, it did not matter. Powerhouse had the numbers advantage right there. Dad was just going crazy on that Zenyatta, landing those headshots left and right, and and then later, the Hammond from Powerhouse is just like such an amazing ultimate right there, just denying so much space. But look at that. Looks like we're seeing a Winston coming out from the side of Vertigo. We're talking about the Shadow Dive coming in with the Moira, Lucio, but Powerhouse will be staying on their comfort picks right there, running the same setup they did with the Tracer and Soldier lineup.
Yeah, Vacuum Ball is going to struggle to find value as the Tracer is getting isolated and is hacked, and he gets an early pickoff. I think that it would be smart for Powerhouse just to back out here. Going without the Tracer would be very reckless, but the Shadow Eye does not have like any long range damage. So with this composition, they're able to shoot them from long. The Winston does go in, gets immediately discord and forced back. It's going to be really hard for this Wrecking Ball to exist on the side of Powerhouse against both the Reaper and the Sombra. It's a value is going to be hard to find, but if he does find it, then it's going to be extreme.
Yeah, and what really I think was the downfall right there for Powerhouse was that the fact that they weren't able to access the point early on, and Vertigo were able to do that with that Winston. But look at that, some kills coming out from the side of Vertigo.
Yeah, Coalescence just lets them push up, and they're able to find 2 on the Winston. And we did mention earlier that that was a very impressive round 1 from Powerhouse, but I'm sorry, there was nothing going to be more impressive on Lijiang to me than the intermediate mob mentality triple retake back at the beginning of this season that we casted.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
definitely. I remember that was one of the craziest takes we have seen. I believe you were just on that play-by-play for like the longest. But other than that, look at that. Operax has a pulse bomb ready. So does Lighthouse with that aimbot basically on that soldier. So some ultimates are here. If the Diva mech can be
finally.
knocked out, this will be
What a
a
pick.
lot of value.
Stake coming up on that EMP gets picked out, and the
Oh
Lucio gets
no!
killed mid-beat and knocks LPN off. The Wrecking Ball going
Oh.
absolutely crazy in that fight. Uses his mines and already is 30 to the next. What an insane play. Not only cancel and kill one support, but kill the other as well. And now, without expending too many ultimates, Powerhouse are back in the driver's seat.
Yeah, and you know if that play from Otakwa does not get a play of the game, I don't know what is justice right now. But look at that, Lilac popping that rally really early, rather early, just getting that armor set up for everyone. But it will be decaying over time. But look at that! Oh my God, this could be
EMP
huge.
self-destruct only the EMP only finds two, but Lighthouse falls really quick. The Transcendence was a little bit too late as it backs off on the side of the point. Lilac falling low, the rally army not able to stay. Kit trying to get back in the mech, but they cannot as Vertigo is finding the pick stat, not able to pull out the clutch onto Zenyatta. They're able to find one before falling into the drink as Tunic finds two with the boop. And that's going
Yeah,
to be a
and
fight
look at
going
the
to the Vertigo.
percentages right now. 75 and going up for Vertigo right now. Powerhouse only has 45% in on the point. So this is kind of the last fight territory zone. And if you're really looking at the ultimate differences, Bobby and Ooh does have their ultimate. Now, Bobby, if he could land this Death Blossom, this could be huge. Oprex also has the ultimate ready, but this will be a very explosive fight, literally coming into
Yeah.
this.
Opalox has to find the Lucio with this. If Opalox does not find Lucio with a pulse bomb, or is not picked off, the beat does come out, and so they're able to sustain through those mines. The pulse bomb is still available, but he falls to the Death Blast before the cannon. Death Blast on the back finding two. Self-destruct coming up from Kit. As trying to clutch, the res does come out of Opalox. Opalox can clutch with the pulse bomb, and he does. It finds LPN, but it's not enough. It's just them on the point. Is there nothing really you can do in that situation? Winston is coming back, and round two goes to Vertigo, and we have a series on our hands.
Oh yeah, we do, and it just looked so good from the side of Powerhouse right there, and getting the early pick on the opponent, Winston, really getting him out the fight. That's the whole main tank, a Winston that has Primal Rage. So I'm really interested. You know, the fact that this fight still went kind of the way of Vertigo because they couldn't just finish up a lot of people. And the Dead Blossom, oh, the Dead Blossom from
Yeah,
Bobby was a beautiful Dead Blossom, taking Dad and Oprex out of the fight. And then Kit was forced to do self-destruct in midst of the point just so Lilac could go ahead and get a res on the Tracer, Oprex, but it didn't really matter at that point. Everybody was dying so quickly. Now this is the map that I really love watching, Lijiang Tower Gardens, because look at this verticality you have, but looks like nobody. Oh my, huh?
what an early boop coming out from Tunic. Just finding the bridge. The Lucio Rollight's too strong. Bobby knocking Kid out of mech, and it's going to be an easy back out for Powerhouse as the first flip's going to come over for the Vertigo.
Now, I do want to mention one thing: the fact that the reason why Vertigo just seems to have so much control over the point is the fact that they have a Lucy on the side of their team, where Powerhouse does not. They only have a Brigitte and a Zenyatta. So the Lucio speed is really allowing Winston and Diva from Vertigo to just go to the point, reach the point as soon as possible. Looks like some spam shots coming out from Lighthouse, trying to build his ultimate up at this point, 43%. But look at the side of the Vertigo. The Moira ult is basically up, and this might be a fight started with Coalescence.
Yeah, Lilac getting picked by the Reaper though and the Coalescence does come out from LPN. Two picks already come out, and it's not looking good for Powerhouse. The kid falls on the mech. Another very quick fight. The ultimate pendulum still swinging in Vertigo's direction as the Transcendence coming from that, but it might be clutchable. Two fine for Powerhouse. The hack comes out onto the Wrecking Ball. The tactical visor is pop, finds LPN, cannon falling as well. Bobby Storm and force the clutch with the Death Blossom, but gets cancelled, and he falls. And it's going to be Powerhouse taking the fight. From what a clutch moment. That is such intelligence from these players to know that that is a clutchable moment, that they are confident in their teamwork and individual skill to invest the ultimate there. But now you have to be careful because they are coming up on the EMP.
Yeah, Steak is looking quite deadly with that EMP that is coming up, and not to mention they also have Prime and Rage on the way. And on the side of Powerhouse, only one ultimate that's really close to getting completed, which is, well, actually two. We have the Pulse Bomb and the oh,
Ooh,
wow,
kid getting
another
knocked
boop.
off.
Oh no, you don't want to see that.
Unfortunately, the EMP does come out, finds three, and I think that's going to be a solo ult fight for Vertigo. Dad and Lighthouse both finding one. It might actually be turnable. It is a 4v4 on both sides. Coalescence coming out from LPN to Discord onto the beat is invested, and it finds all four members that are currently there. Opa falling to LPN's Coalescence as Lighthouse follows them into the grave, and Powerhouse are going to retreat as Vertigo stacks 60 plus.
Wow, investing both supports ultimate, making sure Vertigo stays in the fight right there and able to take the point off of that. But look at that, all the both supports ultimates are also up for Powerhouse. Oh, the mines get laid out, and let's see what happens from here.
And now the force and the backside of the point, and the self-destruct just perfectly zoned them, and it finds three.
Oh,
What a
Lord.
PQ bomb! As the OO invests the Primal Rage only to fall immediately. Powerhouse won a very quick fight, but this is final fight territory. Vertigo only needing one fight to secure map 1 in the series. And investing 3 ultimates is not optimal, but it's not that bad. Dad with the Transcendence, Stake not really close to the EMP, so it's going to come down. Are you going to hold this Transcendence until Stake gets the EMP? Or are you going to pop it and then just what are you going to do for the EMP there?
Yeah, that's definitely true. Look at Cannon. He does have the Diva Bomb ready. He could just throw it in there just for making space. But look at Lighthouse just enabling his ultimate right now.
Yeah, Lighthouse just using the zoning visor, as you would say. The self-destruct not really finding anything. Lilac is hacked out with the dad pop the Transcendence, knowing that the team needs healing as this is the go button.
Ooh,
They
look
need to
at
push
Bobby's
it now.
ultimate. Bobby almost has ultimate right here.
Bobby's about to get it, but Dad finds LPN. That's the main healer down. Bobby follows into the grave, and both tanks as well coming as well, and that is Powerhouse taking it. And because of that very long fight, I should say, it's now an even game. A Powerhouse looking to take the map 1, but this is a fast composition, so they're going to be able to touch.
Yeah, and look at the kid. He has another bomb coming up on the side of Oparox. Also has a pulse bomb ready. Lilac might get the ultimate, but look at that.
Mine's
We have
coming
to
out.
also look at...
Stake dying before he can EMP.
No!
And
Will
the
Bobby
three
get
coming
this
out for
ultimate off?
Powerhouse. Bobby gets the ult up, but it doesn't even
No!
matter. He's immediately picked off in the defense range. His cannon knocked on the mech. It's not anything to do. It's LPN, a solo on point, and Powerhouse is going to take Li Jiang 2-1.
Wow. It looked so close for Vertigo taking. They looked so strong in second round, coming to third round into Lijiang Tower Garden, just kind of falling apart at the very end. But look at that, Tunic gets the play of the game. I was hoping Ladwak would get it, but let's see what's happening right here. Just oh no, oh no, no.
Oh, you
Wow.
hate to
I
see it.
really I still think that was not just it's done right by Overwatch, the game itself, because we have seen Latakwa getting three boops. If even I'm pretty sure he got three boops, and one of them was actually ultimate cancellation from just canceling Tunic's beat. So interesting why that wasn't the play of the game. But hey, I'm not here to judge. I'm pretty sure Powerhouse are happy with this win right now. They're one up at this point against Vertigo, and even though Vertigo looked so good, they looked so strong at that second point, and even at beginning of third point. What do you think went wrong there, really? What do you think just really just set them apart from Powerhouse taking this first match?
I think they're going to have to adapt. Powerhouse playing this wrecking ball flank style, they're going to really need to recognize that there's going to be flankers. And instead of either just pushing forward and ignoring them or all pushing back, they need to dedicate people to hold up front and people to deal with the flankers. They did play the correct composition, I believe, but their target focus was a little bit off. Positioning definitely important in this. You can't really have a far front line and a far back line because they're going to get isolated by those flankers. You have to play as a solid unit and be able to almost split your team in two, but still stay right next to each other.
Yeah, that's definitely true because you cannot do the traditional kind of the composition you would play, where you just play front to back, where you just try to do as much as damage to whoever is in front of you and kind of work your way towards the back. You can't really do that with this composition that Powerhouse is running because they're so mobile and they're kind of splitting themselves in two places at once and creating the crossfire. It's kind of really hard to play as a cohesive unit and keep track of everything that's going on. So kudos to them. Vertigo did do a really good job of maintaining themselves in the second point, but third point at the end, kind of things kind of just fell apart. And I really have to mention and shine the spotlight here for Lilac. Lilac was doing a really good job on the Brigitte, just shutting down any ultimates like the Dead Blossom from Bobby, or even when Cannon, I mean not Cannon, when ult with Primal Rage, just shutting them down constantly and shutting down Moira ultimates. So really kudos to Lilac for doing a great job on the Brigitte, landing those crucial stuns that really define team fights coming in. But now looks like we will have a side swap and playing Rialto for the coming up map. What are your thoughts on that?
Rialto, picked by Vertigo. I don't know if I like it. Rialto does have some very open sidelines. The flanks can be a little bit on A are very easily telegraphed, but also very hard to punish. While in the rest of the map, it is a little bit different. I think this pick actually does favor both sides in the way they play. I don't know if it is the best payload map to pick here for Vertigo, but they seem to be confident in it. I think one thing, just a note from me to you, I don't know how to pronounce the Wrecking Ball has been popping off. They're actually not in the registry for Powerhouse.
I'll be honest with you, I was having a quite a hard time, but so far I've been making out as the Takwa. That's just what I'm going to say. I want to say Takwa, but the L definitely is there for a reason, and so I just want to put it out there. So other than that, I'm just saying Latakwa. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm just gonna get the information from the source. It's
Ah,
really hard to figure out. Aqua. Okay.
Aqua. Okay, there you go. There you go. It sounds great. Seems like a reasonable thing to say. Aqua has been doing a great job. If you guys haven't seen, but other than that, I do want to touch up on the whole Rialto situation that you were talking about. It is Vertigo's map pick, by the way, for everybody who's watching. It is the losers map pick, and it is quite interesting that they go for Rialto, especially seeing the fact that Powerhouse loves to play this kind of, flanky style of composition where they're just constantly trying to flank. And if you look at Rialto, there's so many ways you could flank around here. There's so many different sight lines you could play around, different elevations. So interesting the fact that they go into this matchup or map like you talked about, Mob, but maybe they're just confident, maybe they have something up their sleeves, maybe they'll take out a Pharah or a Widow or something like that we haven't seen yet. But other than that, I'm still a little confused to why this is going on. But hey, I'm here for some Overwatch gameplay, so anything that works out that's fun to watch, I will take it no matter what.
Yeah. I think it is going to be a very fun match going through. Both of these teams, even coming down to the performance against other teams in leagues, are extremely similar. I think these teams, even before a lot of the new players picked up, were very similar in their performances. Both of them falling 3-1 to Hangzhou Bark. Both of them losing a 5-map thriller, sometimes even twice. It's both these teams very well matched.
Yeah, and we definitely saw that. And first round, and look at that, being confident, picking out a very interesting, season one payload. I don't think the whole seal situation from Sigma really works out because it doesn't stick to a one person or a spot. But interesting choice. Let's see how Powerhouse decides to play against this bizarre composition that's coming out from Vertigo.
This Bastion will not work. If this works against the Zen, Mercy, and the Sigma, the Lighthouse does fall early. The res does come out, but there's a lot of pressure. It gives the Bastion position and is able to find Kit. Dad onto Laser, and Stake getting pressured so hard. The Immortality keeping up using that Baptiste buff, and Stake does fall, but I think the damage is already done. Tracer from Oppo going wild in the back, but it might not be enough. Dad just on that Zen up top, Res does get canceled as Dad is popping off on the Zenyatta from the high ground. Already 64 to Transcendent. Pulse Bomb getting catch by the shield, but he recalled into it. No. Opa getting the unlucky recall, as actually it's going to be Powerhouse taking the fight, but the next one is just immediately starting. Echo coming out onto Laser Stake, moving over to the McQueen, definitely not wanting that Bastion to continue to work, but the amplification matrix is already ready, and with all these players on this team, this is extremely deadly. Mines coming out from Aqua, kind of pushing them back as Stake gets isolated through. Not able to find it. I think that's just going to be cleanup.
Yeah, and definitely a very weird start. I think Lighthouse were also kind of bamboozled by the not Lighthouse, Powerhouse were also kind of bamboozled by the fact that the Bastion was there, and I think they reacted quite well. Dad was able to take the high ground and just do so, press a lot of pressure into this Bastion, eventually killing him. But look at that Lighthouse popping out, killing the Mercy. That's
Cannon finding two.
Yeah.
Cannon finds two. Laser with one. That's already three down. The Transcendence forced to come out. It's the Triangle is coming back in. Oh, whoa, is discorded so low, but Laser's able to find it with a headshot. A Stake finds two more. It's going to keep going. Amplification Matrix in the back, as it's actually going to be Powerhouse. I mean, sorry, Vertigo taking point A with a very fast time.
Yeah, for the people who are watching, this is a very, very messy fight to cast or even watch, pay attention to, because there's just so many moving pieces at this point. Looks that Bob comes out from Lighthouse, quite an early Bob actually. The cart hasn't even really gone over the bridge yet, so I think that's kind of a waste if you ask me at this point. But look at that, Laser does have the Echo ultimate ready, gets swapped to Sigma actually.
Never gets immediately slept though. Dad with an amazing sleep, switching over to the Ana. Tunic finding headshots onto the Aqua. The big flux coming out from Kit, not able to find anything, but LPN dies in the air by Lighthouse. Now Mercy down is a big punish. Oh, getting knocked into the drink. So unlucky for him so far, as Laser finds not one but both supports with that focusing beam. Kit also follows in the self-destructive path of Opa, and Aqua is forced to retreat on the Wrecking Ball.
Yeah, this is quite the messy fight right here. The pick potential from Vertigo is so high right now. Yeah, nobody, they can't. There's just so much spam damage coming out from both sides, and now Stake has a Bob guarding Powerhouse right here at the edge of this choke point. They can't just even go in. Laser just gets slept, but other than that, I think this is kind of a free push for them.
No, Cannon actually making a fatal flaw and hooking the with a big flux coming out onto it, and it finds two, and they're able to cap. Cannon almost making a big mistake, hooking the Hammond onto the point to contest with 0.01 meters left, but they're capping it anyway. I think the big mistake that Powerhouse is really making on this defense is that they're giving a lot of space to this poke damage. I know it's hard to pressure it out, but their Laser getting picked. With this double hit scan, this Echo is going to be hard to function. I think that Bob earlier, that Lighthouse throughout was the maintain positioning, but they didn't really push.
Look at how much space they're getting. This is all this space so far since the second, pretty much the first point was uncontested the entire time. But looks like Powerhouse are finally taking the initiative and trying to, get something out of it, at least some type of contention right here. But Laser, look at it again. He builds up the ultimate one more time, and with that, I think Powerhouse should be winning this with Dad and Lilac having the ultimates ready with Kit's Flux too. So this next fight shouldn't be that hard to contest.
If Laser actually turns into Ash, the double Ash coming out from Vertigo. Stake Stake finding Dad. Support down. Mercy's not going to be able to res. LPN finding as well. Kit just in the back trying to shield off the duplicated Bob. Both Bobs fighting on point. The amplification matrix destroying it. Lasers with the duplicated Bob finds Lighthouse, and it looks like Vertigo's gonna be pushing this in. The nano visor, it gets hooked in and finds Laser, but it immediately falls after. The mine's coming out onto point. Baptiste forced to retreat. So low, the res does come out onto Opa. Opa immediately finding Owo off the res, and Powerhouse is going to be able to hold on. This is the hardest point for that offense. Aqua finding a nice three-piece right at the end.
Yeah, because it's a very close quarter place when you get inside the little this little cathedral right here. It's a really small place that you have to deal with, and the entire composition of Vertigo really revolves around getting picks off of the hooks of Cannon and Stakes dynamites. So it kind of is hard for them to just push it into a small quarter space where now you finally have Aqua on that hog and Kit just constantly spamming out damage with Obrax. So it looks like they will be going in another. Oh, it does have a flux ready, so they have to be careful because. Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
it's big if I'm two. Lighthouse falling so low, but they're not able to come it up. But meanwhile, Aqua does fall. Bob coming out immediately slept. And as Tunic falls, the res is going to look to come out. Laser popping off in the kill feed. As there's not going to be much of a consent. Kit trying their best. And the Wrecking Ball switch is going to come. They are going to be able to touch, but it's not for long. Aqua, the sole defender of the point. Hammond is OP, but not that OP. And it's going to be Vertigo capping with a minute 16.
Wow, that's a very impressive attack from coming out from Vertigo. Very different, and I'm perfectly fine with it. We talked about the very beginning of this series. We talked about how there are people who are just kind of straying away slowly from the Sombra and Reaper composition, the Shadow Dive, and trying out different things. And I really appreciate what both of these teams are doing. They're not afraid to try different things and figure out what's going on. But I think the whole pick, you even mentioned the whole Baptiste buff coming in, right? I think the Baptiste Mercy pick coming out from Vertigo is a very safe option. It's such a hard support line to kill. If you focus Baptiste, he could just easily put down the lantern and burn your time, burn time off the clock, make it harder for him to get killed, and his team could just assist him. If you do kill him, then you have LPN just resing him with this Mercy res. But if you go on the Mercy, he could just throw that whole little lantern in, and basically vice versa. For the side of your Powerhouse, you have Dad who likes to play the Zenyatta, easily killable, one of the easiest supports to kill if you really dive him. And then he swapped off to Ana, another immobile character. So picking I think the support lineup from Vertigo was really the difference maker in majority of those fights, where they were just able to sustain themselves for a very long time. Where we could perfectly see Powerhouse does not have a composition to play a long-winded fight as they were trying to.
Yeah, this passion composition running it back. Laser
Oh
winning
my
the
god!
1v1.
How?
Res immediately coming out. Just better aim, I guess, in that situation. Sebastian has revealed himself to be there. They are not really prepared for it. They can't break the shield very easily. This long-range hit scan is not going to prove very well against a close-range Bastion. Playing around this, ooh, the Aqua is able to get out of there on the ball.
A lot of spam damage coming out for both teams right there. Oh my god, the long range hook on Operax. That's just will delay Powerhouse even longer. They have to back out. They lost one of their snipers, but look at the Lighthouse replies back with killing Tunic. Now they just have to stop. Oh, LPN from Resing, and that's what they do. Aqua gets the kill on LPN, and this is a go time right here, Mob. This is cleanup.
Yeah, if there was a window, they definitely broke right through it. As Aqua just kind of going crazy into the back, even inching into the back line does fall, but it's going to be really. I think there is actually a recontest able for here. They're all up stakes, switching over to the Saba off the Bastion. Bob coming in onto the point. Lighthouse getting immediately hooked off. Lilac trying to look for the res, but it gets rocked away. Transcendence coming out very quick from Dad. His skill has been showing all match as they're able to keep up that res in time for Lighthouse to come up. Bob gets thrown down immediately. 2 picks follows from Powerhouse. They look they're going to be able to power through. Tuna getting res. It's either game. Aqua dropping the minus on points. It'd be so hard to stay alive. The amplification meal just dropped, and it's not going to do anything as Powerhouse capped A with even faster time than Vertigo.
Yeah, Powerhouse said, Vertigo, you want to play with fire, we will respond back with more fire, literally beating their time, I believe, at the first point right here, having 4 minutes coming into the second point. Let's see if Vertigo does the same thing as Powerhouse did on their time of defense. They give up a lot of space, and looks like Vertigo are not going to do that. They want the fight. They want to make things happen.
Yeah, Lilac getting the res off the Aqua who fell pretty early. Stake switching over to this Samba to kind of adapt to this playstyle. What a big slam coming out, but Aqua was actually able to get out. That's crazy. Oppo trying to go onto the signature tracer, finding stuff in the backline. Does fall to Oppo as the flux does come out, finds two into the air, and it's such a big flux. Two are already down. LPN just keeping everyone alive on that Mercy. And there's not the wrecking ball. There's no miracle to be found yet, as Powerhouse are going to be held temporarily.
Yeah, and if you look at the ultimate line and the ultimate economy coming out from Powerhouse, that does have a Transcendence ready with Oprax that could maybe make a potential clutch pick right here with his Pulse Bomb. But the main ultimate that you really have to keep an eye on is Stakes EMP. If he lands this EMP, which by that time Laser should have Echo's ultimate ready too, then this could be devastating.
Oh,
Oh,
Pokemon
look at
finds
that.
LPN. I think they could try and clutch with this EMP. They have to find Dad in it though. If Transcendence does come out, Cannon falling as well, you're already down two. Investing Ultimates here could be risky. I think they can just back out. Aqua does end up falling. Bob thrown into the back, LPN back into the fight. Information makes getting thrown out. Red's coming out from Aqua. Laser turning into an Ash. You want to get the Bob shooting through the Information Matrix. Able to do so much damage, but Dad pops Transcendence. Nobody touches point. This Powerhouse clean through B without any of the ultimates being used by Vertigo as a forced retreat. They know even if they won the fight, it wouldn't be worth. As
Yeah, and
Lighthouse
look at
is able to
that.
keep going.
Lighthouse still has 4 minutes in their clock, and this is going much better than how. Ooh, as I speak, Lighthouse just kills the Bob, takes him over, and Laser swaps back to McCree rather than staying on the Echo, using this line of sight or maybe just the safe option of staying at the back. Cannon gets a hook on Kid, but nothing really showing up. But look at that, Oprix has another ultimate, so maybe another pick from Oprix could open this fight up.
Ooh, Aqua falling pretty early. It just that's the punishment. The stick does come out, finds Tunic. The immortality is already down. Oppo tries to go to punish Rez, but Cannon is right there defending his backline. And it's going to be really hard for Powerhouse to push in, and they're going to just retreat. But the main thing you want to look at is this poke damage and the ultimate economy.
Yeah, definitely. Vertigo has a lot to work with. Stake has another EMP, and look at this. Tunic and LPN both have their support ultimates. Lighthouse actually gets taken out quite late, so but the rest will come on, no worries. Dad only on the side of Powerhouse, the only ultimate we really have is the Transcendence. But if the EMP hits Zenyatta from Stake, this could mean devastation because Dad will get immediately deleted.
Yeah, Aqua getting another unlucky pickoff. It is the Wrecking Ball playstyle. You kind of have to be safer, especially when you're playing against so many stuns. For the entire tank and DPS line having some way to stun Aqua, it's just so hard for this Wrecking Ball to find values. Cannon finds yet another, just keeps delaying that push. We always call it ultimate economy, and the number one rule of economics is the law of supply and demand. And ultimates are on high supply, and I demand to see them. And what is self-destruct, but the immortality saves it out as Aqua tries to harass the backline, but the flashbang is there as the rest of Powerhouse move on to point. Bob getting thrown out, amplification matrix, ultimates being thrown left and right. This Bob in the back causing havoc. Cannon falls to it. Bob is killed by the high noon from Laser, just able to laser him down. EMP finds 5. What a huge one. Opa falling immediately after. Like trying to look for the res, falling a little bit ago, popping the Valkyrie. Opa has the Tracer ultimate, but is not able to go. Stake actually switches over to the Junkrat to try and pull out something. 1:38 left on the clock for the Powerhouse as this fight is still going. Opa trying to get back as fast as they can.
Oh my god,
finding a headshot. A damage boosted headshot onto Oh, that's so much damage from Zen.
and
Wow.
the res was denied.
Yeah, no res. The pulse bomb is used on the cannon, but he's so tanky that's not able to do anything. As the card.
Oh, nobody's in the card.
No one touches
Wow.
the card. Has Powerhouse on such a
Leads.
fight that they could have definitely lost is able to cap with 2 seconds more.
Wow, 2 seconds more, and I have to give it to Dad for opening that fight up. There, he gets that headshot from, from deep down, just eliminating Kid on his Sigma, and right after that, I mean, my bad, eliminating O on his Sigma, and right after that, Kid flew in there with his Diva, knocking away LPN and denying that res. So I think that was a very crucial play on opening up that fight in that type of space right there. Because without a Sigma, you don't have any shield or any form of damage in mitigation. So basically Powerhouse were able to just walk in and be like, hey, what's up? We're going to take this point and just roll the card all the way in with having only 2 seconds extra. Wow. We
Yeah,
talked about a series and we definitely have one.
Vertigo definitely making some clear mistakes on their defense. Letter numbering not only point C but point B as well on fights that they definitely could win, even if the disadvantage, the clutch factor was still there, but not touching the card is the cardinal sin of Overwatch. As Vertigo looks to go for the second attack.
Yeah, and looks like they are just rolling out their initial composition that we've seen that they play the last round. No more Bastion this time, no more cheese. Just pulling out basically. Oh,
Ooh.
ooh, that is not a pick you want to see, but look at that
Oh.
Aqua answering back with even a bigger pick.
Yeah, the big picks left and right. Alpa actually is switching over to the Soldier 70-6. Grandpa himself, Aqua slamming onto the cart. Now we're at a deadlock. It's going to take one of these teams one pick to go the other way to get them back. The Soldier is back with 65 until this Ashley able to rejoin. Laser is discorded, but is able to get healed up. Excuse my hiccups. Both tanks on the cart. They're actually able to push through. The pressure, though no picks has come out, the pressuring from Vertigo is so intense and cannot be underestimated. Slam comes out, both supports found in a cannon, finds the hook, but not able to find up anything. The Sigma a little bit overextended, but is able to come back. The Immortality Field forced to be used, almost up to the Amp Matrix. Gets it up, Dad does follow, the Res comes out, Ovo finding one on the kit. Amplification makes Matrix used in the back. As the Lighthouse is so isolated, Opa finding Laser to go either way. So close back and forth. Opa on this high ground trying to pull a milk all the soldier and using those new buffs to their advantage. The minefield coming out over a little bit staggered away. They cannot step off this cart. They're playing with fire here. Ovo gets knocked away. The Tunic takes over a card due. The Immortality Field is used and is disposed of. That pops the Transcendence. A Wrecking Ball used. Finds Ovo on the slam as he finds the cannon too. Both tanks down. Dad clutching out. No, not the Flux. The Flux finding two. Kit popping up and it's going to be Powerhouse holding and point A. Minute 18 is their time bank. The win condition has been set to even up the series. I mean,
Wow,
sorry, continue up the series.
what a clutch play right there from Powerhouse. It really looked like they were about to give that point up. And for a
Yeah.
second there, I literally had a heart attack because both Dad and Lilac used their support ultimates at the same time. They layered support ultimates, and you necessarily don't want to do that, especially if you're running a Zenyatta and Mercy. You could eventually do that and just damage boost everybody in your team while you have Transcendence healing, but it's just very risky move. But they made up for it. They got all the picks they necessarily needed, all the kills that were coming out, so it was not in vain. If they did not get any value right there, that would have been a huge mistake coming out from Powerhouse. But at the end, everything worked out. But now look at this mob. Stake
Oh.
pulling out the pharmacy right here. You're seeing a pharmacy with a Reaper composition. Now, this is a composition I've seen before, and it's very effective if you're playing it right. And for Vertigo, they don't even have to play this composition right. They just have to burn time as much as possible.
I don't
And
think it's going to work, personally. I think
if
going against Lighthouse and showing Opa can play the hit scan is
that
fair.
is
But
definitely
the
true.
spawn holding,
Oh no.
Lighthouse immediately picks the playing the spawn, and then Stake finds Dad. I'll eat my words just like my soup. This is the fair against this composition should not work. The only one you can really shoot at is the Zenyatta switching over to the Ana. Like who everyone's so mobile, and there's one technically two hit scan and a diva to deal with. It's so hard for the fair to stay alive. As the Mercy is anti, and he gets tracked down. Hit scan, Dad. We were talking about how many people can deal with the pharmacy, but it's the one we didn't expect. Opa is in the back trying to find
It's a
Cannon.
huge anti heal.
But they're still on cart. They haven't pushed him out. The cart hasn't moved an inch yet. Laser and Stake popping off. Wait, did they just turn that? Tunic finding Aqua. Oh my gosh, Stake finding Opa. There's 20 seconds left on the clock, and the cart still hasn't moved. 0 meters and lasers up top. They're gonna get find out. Wait, he might get slapped. Ooh, the sleep not coming out first. Laser able to dodge it. Aqua onto the hog. Tunic is anti-dunk card so low, able to not get away. Lighthouse falling open, but finding two. The pitch going back and forth. Wes from Lilac. It's either way. The cart is finally left its initial spawn position. Laser falling, and Powerhouse are going to take the first fight. But now it's in overtime. They cannot step off.
No, Powerhouse has to play this perfectly going into this. Literally, they have to push this meter all the way there, and maybe they're halfway, but the moment, look at this ultimate economy coming out. Stake has a barrage. This is a very deadly ultimate. Kit needs to be on point.
Pulse
The
bomb goes
bomb
wide.
misses. And look at Laser, both Laser. Oh no, oh no.
Oh, the barrage is huge, and the Death Blossom is just as big, and it's going to be Vertigo tying up this series 1-1. What plays from both teams in this map? We were talking about how close this would be, how reminiscent it would be to the classic Toilet Bowl, and it looks like we might get there, but instead of the play being garbage and not fun, this is probably one of the funnest series I've watched in a while.
Definitely, and look at that. Stake getting the play of the game right here, getting all these kills, just doing so much damage with his dynamite. Oof, with the clean headshot
To
at
the bottom.
that. Yeah, that is insane. Just getting all this damage done. And I think so far the teams have done a great job, especially the support lineup from Powerhouse, keeping everybody alive. But, at the end of the day, that last point we've seen, it was really smart from Vertigo to do the spawn hold, knowing that they have knowing that they have DPS that really benefit off of close quarter combat, like as of Reaper and Stakes Farah, which has a lot of splash damage. So they recognize that, and even they got some early picks on Lighthouse. Lighthouse getting hooked, actually not just once, twice, and multiple times throughout the last map. So maybe that's something you want. They want to work on. Maybe not getting caught out as much as they did by Cannon's hooks, but you can't really blame them. Hog is not a easy target to really evade. But right there, I like what Vertigo did. They held at spawn. They really did as much as damage as possible, and they knew that even if they lose that fight, right, they're building up ultimates that they could use later on, going
Yeah.
into the overtime when Powerhouse are moving the cart, and that's exactly what happened. You had both DPS ultimates just literally go in, pop the back line, and why not throw in the Dead Blossom too, just to confirm, and just like that, they won the map.
Yeah, it's very risky play if that it's all down to that first fight. If that first fight goes in the way of the attackers, then it's just a steamroll. But they're able to hold on. And we have our next map, 2CP, going over to Volskaya Industries. I think this is a very smart pick from Powerhouse. It was Powerhouse's pick. Vertigo is going to be on the defense. Powerhouse showing just the flanky style is very prevalent on Volskaya Industries. There's a lot of different angles that Vertigo can hold, so Powerhouse is going to have to adapt and flank around. Stake might even play that pharmacy once again, depending on how vital this goes. Honestly, it's a very hard call, but I'm expecting a 4-4 draw here.
Ooh, that's definitely a very brave call coming in. But other than that, I'm not going to make any predictions because both these teams have been super unpredictable so far. I have not been able to figure them out yet. They're just throwing curveballs left and right. But other than that, I will say Volskaya is one of my favorite maps to watch, especially in 2CPs, because this is a map that really allows teams to either get hard stuck in first point and not complete the map at all, or steamroll first point and carry the momentum, snowball the entire way to the second point and have 6 minutes left. So it's basically extremes of two that you could see in this map, and I have seen so many clutches in Volskaya Industry where you would be, let's say you're 2-2, right, and you have 2 points, both teams have 2 points, and you have only a minute left. You come in, you take the first point, and then you get that bonus 20 seconds or 30 seconds, and then go ahead, take the second point to within that time frame. So I even saw it yesterday, and that's why I love this map so much. There's so much clutch potential here, and so many things could go really south very quickly. Mm-hmm. I believe.
Apologize, I accidentally hit my push to mute. As I was saying, the series could definitely go either way. We are ready to go into Volskaya Industries. It's going to be very interesting on both sides. We've seen some great play and adaptability from both teams, able to adapt to the other. Not a single map going really one side or the other. Lijiang claps left and right. Rialto claps left and right. Volskaya, I'm expecting the same, either some very great defense and followed by another great defense or some very quick attacks.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what these guys do. Definitely, they definitely shown us that they could play different composition, be versatile. Remember, for everybody who are watching right now, this is basically both teams don't have a win so far. They're both 0-4. So this is a very important match for any of this team because one of them have to come out with a win, and at this point, it's just who is better than the other, who's going to win. Powerhouse is, I believe, on top of Vertigo. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mob, with a map difference only. So interesting in that maybe that stat will come true and Powerhouse will be taking this stage. I mean this series, but who knows? We're just waiting for some confirmation. Looks like we do have a swap. A sub in comes in, and Mr. Steal Your Kill is opted in for Dad. Now, Dad has been a very key player so far for Powerhouse. What do you think about this switch coming in, Mob?
I don't know about not about the players, but I do think this means they'll might go more in the direction of an Ana. Dad did play Ana, and it was pretty potent, but that's the only thing I could really think of because his Zen was so powerful, or maybe a double main support. But it's we're just gonna have to see. Speculation is the fool's gamble, as we will be going into Volskaya Industries. What an interesting time. Um, we were actually forced in. The time in between matches did run out, and so we were forced to go into the map.
Yeah, I
But
believe. Yeah, I believe Powerhouse were waiting on Dad to confirm, and maybe he is AFK for the time being. So the option for subbing in Mr. Studio thing had to be made, and I think they're still waiting. Um, I'm not sure. The pause does come out, and some questions are being asked in the chat.
yeah, I think we might see just a little bit strange. But very, we have to follow the rules. There's no problem. Um, we will have some very interesting play here. I think it's going to come out. We are seeing the defense is we're going to be what's very solid here. We're going to continue to see that Hog Sigma. I am very interested because when the Overwatch League Grand Finals did air, it was on a previous patch, and a lot of teams opted to not run it because of the Hog changes that had come through since. But it's slowly taken over very weirdly, considering that Roadhog, one of the main components of this composition, has been nerfed since its main appearance in the Grand Finals. It's seen more and more playtime, which is kind of an opposite effect that you would expect. But it's a very interesting. Mr. Steal Kill actually on the Zenyatta, playing the same role as Dad. Very interesting.
Let's see if he has the same effect into the games coming in. But looks like Vertigo are running this very comfort pick. I talked about the Tunic running the Baptiste and LPN on that Mercy is very safe pick.
Laser.
And oh my god, Laser gets destroyed by the Mercy, damage boosted. Ash, the shots are very effective coming in. That's a pick you're looking for. This should be the go button.
Yeah, and it's not in a restful position because of that Asher's sidelines. Mostly getting knocked into the air, and Mortality Field is forced out. Both supports falling so low. Hook coming out, not able to do much though, as on the attack they're so healthy. Lighthouse finds yet another onto Tunic. LPN is trying to look for the res, and they are looking. It is coming, but Owo finds death actually. Laser does come back into the fight. LPN falling so low is off the point, able to get healed up. The point is wide open. Stake pulling as well. The Winston switch is available. And actually, Owo does switch over the Winston and then to Ball. Maybe to touch or maybe as a permanent switch. We'll see later as this fight continues. Lighthouse popping off. killing so many people in the fight. What an amazing one.
Yeah, Lighthouse, really living up to his name, shining the light at the win condition right now. And oh my god, this is not the pick you
5
want to see if
ultimate.
you're Oh no, this is very bad for Vertigo. You do not want to see the picks coming out. I don't know why they overextended right here, but this is another clean fight we see coming in.
Yeah, pigs going in, and they have 5 ultimates to work with. Very insane. Valkyrie comes out from LPN. Tunic does fall. This Valk trying to contest with Discord solo. Both supports dead. For Vertigo. Pulse Bomb finds
Oh
it.
no.
And it's just Cannon left on the point. The whole hog not able to do anything. And we're going to see an extremely quick time. 5 minutes and 14 seconds on the time bank. I told you it's either be good defense or a fast attack.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. Once you win the first point, if you could bring the momentum, really carry the momentum on and snowball, you could just do that. Literally have 5 minutes and 14 seconds. Now, Vertigo have to play almost perfect right here to match this time in any way, shape, or form. I still don't understand why the overextension was made by LPN and Canon, and you really, kudos to Oprex for getting the early kill, the early pick, especially on the main support. That's just denying so much, so much healing, and not to mention a potential reds. So, I'm really excited. I'm really interested to see how Vertigo will play this out because they don't have a lot of time to work with. And looks like they will be sticking to the Winston, the Shadow Dive we know so much about, the stake being on that Sombra. But now, this is the thing, Mob. You usually play the Shadow Dive, right? To kind of play around Sombra, give her the space, and she needs to build up the ultimate. With the setup that Powerhouse has, this is a lot of pick potential. You have the Lighthouse on that Ash that's been damaged with the Operox constantly just bothering your backline. And Mr. Steal Your Kill could easily just discord over people. So I don't know how effective this will be, especially when it comes to efficient time management in the back.
Yeah, very interesting to see. Definitely comfort pick still coming out. The Shadow Dive. They could definitely punish the Wrecking Ball from Aqua as Tunic and Stake does fall early.
Whoa. Wow, Mr. Steal Your Kill, literally just 1v1 Stake right there, and that's just, once Stake lost that 1v1, that was just basically a call to back off, because if you can't kill the Zen, oh my god, as I talk, Lighthouse just destroys LPN, and this is not looking good for Vertigo so far. What do you even do at this point?
You just gotta regroup, hope the ultimate advantage isn't too hard to go over. Cannon remeching in the open, very interesting. Takes a lot of poke damage. There is definitely a window for them to get some picks before ultimates come online for Powerhouse. As the dive does come out, but the Diva boots back Ovo kind of in the middle of nowhere. Now, Stake trying to build up to that EMP, definitely the win condition. Lighthouse does have the bottom line, might just throw it out, and he does. Bob just thrown into the back line, pressures LPN, Fade forced to come out. Opox finding laser on the melee. Bob melting Tunic is going to be yet another fight going to Powerhouse. And I think this map is definitely the most one-sided we've seen yet.
Yeah, and I just have to putting this out there. Stake not really trying to kill Mr. Steal Your Kill over and over, but not succeeding at all. And this is this is the problem with the Shadow Dive coming into this. You take so much poke damage and you're relying on your Sombra to make these plays, to get these picks, but if she's not able to get them, that's not going to work out in your favor. And look at that, 3 ultimates on board.
They teleport on top and the boop comes out, and they were knocked off high ground. LPN gets Pulse Bomb, and that's the coalescing Moira out of the fight. Once again, Powerhouse in the driver's seat, the minefield coming out, forces them inside. The sound barrier is invested, though they're down 1 support. Opa and Lighthouse both finding picks. The DPS difference showing its head cannon, finding Aqua, but I don't think it's going to be enough to really turn the fight in their favor.
Oh, nobody killed.
Tunic.
Nobody killed the teleport right up there, so Stake actually get a free, pretty much a free position on the point. Look at that, he's just hanging around on the top of the little garage cubby, whatever you want to call it. Huh? Oh no, you don't want to do that. You do not. Oh no, Stake.
That was the definition of unlucky. Mr. Steal Kill was
Oh,
holding a right click to spam down choke, and Steak just happened to be in the way, took a body shot, revealed, and didn't have the translocate up to get away. But the EMP is
oh
never gone.
no. Now this all rides on this EMP, and look at how safe Mr. Still Your Kill is playing. And if he does not get caught in this EMP, he could easily just turn it on by using his Transcendence.
Yeah, and the EMP does come out. Transcendence. The EMP only finds 2. Oh, knocking Lilac out of the fight. Stake does fall, and Mrs. Steely Kill
Oh
follows
no,
as well.
both supports are off the
Those
clock.
supports. Kit has a self-destruct, as is able to get thrown out, but actually the hacked Kit not able to use it. 25 seconds left on the clock. Kit Opa falling. Powerhouse just in shambles. And it's going to be Vertigo taking the fight in basically overtime. Aqua is going to contest just for a little bit of volt charge, but fall pretty soon after.
Yeah, and if you are Powerhouse right now, you are not mad at all because you burned so much time off the clock. Look at that. Vertigo are already 2 minutes behind of the time bank, and it's just going down. It's going to keep going down. Aqua does have his mines ready. He could lay it out in the point anytime, and Kit has a defense, basically a self-destruct to create space. So I think they could burn even more time off the clock, maybe take it to a minute or so, or even not give up the point at all. That would be ideal. Huh,
Yeah, this mate switch is very impactful. It can freeze this wrecking ball. Stake actually does fall 2 down to mines. That's just definitely a big hit on the reset button.
Yeah, that's a big hit. Very interesting. I do want to mention out, I think there was a miscommunication, but looks like Cannon was trying to fly to the back of basically the backline and do a little bit of damage, but May Wall kind of cut him off. Stakes wall, and then Stakes just immediately dying to the mines. Does not really look good performance wise, but hey, I'm pretty sure they could turn it back around. Cannon is currently not in his mech right now,
Oh,
but
what a pick! Stake
That
finds
is not a
Opa.
pick.
I don't think it's in a reasonable position. The dive does come out. Bob is thrown out. The Tunic falls right after, and Cannon just once again falls back in. What an insane plays. Oh, just in the back, doesn't have the power and falls as well. Though the early picks come out from the side of Vertigo, Powerhouse is still gonna hold on.
You know, I was a bit, let's say
Laser just
worried.
staggering.
I was just a bit worried when Dad did not get to play this game, but it looks like it doesn't even really matter. Powerhouse has a expendable lineup for Zenyatta players, good Zenyatta players, I should say, because Mr. Still Your Kill has been performing commendably so far, getting the picks he needs, not giving himself up to any of these flanks or anything like that. And look at that, 3 ultimates from the side of Powerhouse, but Laser does have a Death Blossom, so we do want to keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, if you're Vertigo, your goal here is just to finish with time. If it goes into overtime, it's basically lost. But we gotta focus on the future. The Vertigo's Sunberry is the second too late as Owo does fall. The self-destruct coming out, but
Oh my
with
God!
another 3K bomb. Huge, another Pichu bomb. What insane plays. Cannon now just getting staggered. No, Cannon, you can't be just emoting. You gotta jump off. You gotta jump off the map. What are you doing?
I think at this point it's just kind of given up. 30 seconds left, and we still have 3 ultimates on the side of Powerhouse. One of them being Mr. Steal Your Kill. So interesting, very interesting. Oh, Laser just destroys Lighthouse right away. But it doesn't matter. Lilac on that Mercy, making sure Lighthouse is up and back to perform well. The mat comes out, and other than that, ooh, look at that.
Transcendence comes out, Stake falls. Cannon finding 2, 1 with the bomb, 1 with the neutral. Opa down, Bob is still stalling at the point. Coalescence coming out, finding Lilac. This is definitely doable. The Zenyatta in the backline gets beamed down by the Coalescence, and it's the Vertigo actually pulling ahead in this fight. Lighthouse, the last remaining players for Powerhouse are falling. The stall not really basically pointless because it's already in overtime, and barring a miracle from Powerhouse, it's going to be Vertigo capping with 0 time, but they don't see the Lucio in the corner. They finally poke it out, but it bought enough time for Powerhouse to stagger to get back to give up another tick. But now they're coming back with 3 people. This is definitely doable. All it takes is 1 pick to turn this to the other side. Laser onto the Widow, Stake on the Symmetra, trying to just switch over. Kit falling out of mech as 2 3 picks coming out for Vertigo and make it 4. It's going to be Vertigo capping with barring another miracle. It's not going to happen, but still, you got to know that this is next to impossible for Vertigo.
Unless they could take both points, this is pretty much
They don't even
not.
have an attack. This is a full defense. 1 tick on the side of Powerhouse gives them the map and up on the series 2-1. 5 minutes and 14 seconds. It would be
That's a
the most
long
impressive
time.
holds. Yeah, that
That
is a
is,
minute 14 longer than you start with on the map. All it really takes is building 6 ultimates and hitting Q.
yeah, and if not that, if any of them from the defense, literally any pick, if any pick comes out from the side of attack, it's pretty much over for Vertigo right here. So they have to play super careful. I like the pick right here, Stake, going over to the Pharah, LPN, and the Mercy, the Pharmacy. So if they could make this work, a lot of splash damage coming in. That definitely worked out for them the last map. Let's hope this works out again. But the way
Yes.
Lighthouse has been hitting his shots, I think this will be a pretty hard run.
Yeah, you have to play this sort of composition. You can't match them in the neutral because you always have to play for these picks. Basically, the goal here is to find a pick before every single fight and stall for 5 minutes and 14 seconds, and then hopefully win off of an ultimate advantage. That's all they really have going for them. If, like you said, if a single player from Vertigo dies, barring a res, it's almost immediately over.
Yes, but look at that. Both teams are fired up. Their keyboards are all clicking. Mouses are all clicking. They want to get to the fight right now as soon as possible. Ooh, look at that. The Pharah already getting kind of low. And ooh, Tunic gets a kill on... Oh my god, look at that. Mr. Still Your Kill just answers back. But again, this is so back and forth.
Yeah, but the picks do favor Vertigo. Vertigo would definitely up, and only 4 players left online for Powerhouse, as the ultimate advantage is going to be what really comes here. Vertigo looking like they will get to the ultimates first, and it's all about they need to not all use them at once. 2 ultimates is all you need to win a fight. If you can do it with 1 or even 0, then perfect. But you never want to invest more than 2 if you have to hit a long defense like this.
Yeah, that's definitely too. Looks like all the spam damage coming out for the Pharah, hitting shots left and right, just trying to build this ultimate. Oh my god, look at that. Again, 2 picks coming out.
Oh, but Pharah gets killed as well. The res not able to come online because LPN's getting pressured. He goes for it because the reload is there. LPN actually able to get it off. A Stake building up to that barrage immediately is super low, not able to connect with the Mercy and falls once again. But the tanks of Vertigo popping off. The self-destruct is not able to find anything as Vertigo finds 3 up in the fight and actually push back Powerhouse. What a miracle. What play from Vertigo. They're able to hold on to that with the use of 2 ultimates. Like I said earlier, that's that 2 ultimate game. And on the side of Powerhouse, there were ultimates invested in there.
Yeah, and look at that. The ultimate economy favors Vertigo right now. And if they could keep stacking these ultimates 2 by 2, as we were talking about, and just maintain this lead that they have, they should be able to stall it out for 3 more minutes. Stake does have his Rocket Barrage ready with LPN on that Mercy Valkyrie. And they just have to work it until, and Laser gets their ultimate.
I think he fat fingered. I think Mr. Steal Your Kill accidentally hit Transcendence in the backline. Doesn't get any value out of it. That's so huge for Vertigo. The minefield coming out, not really gonna get any value up there. Just kind of gives them the high ground for free. But Opa on the ground with the soldier actually gets demech. Tunic finding Opa. The res not really able to come out in that position. But LPN does fall.
A huge pick.
You can't res yourself as the barrage does come out, and it's Powerhouse finding the kills. Laser switching over to the Ashen immediately gets fluxed. The duplicate is cancelled. Laser, last bastion of hope for the Vertigo fans in this map. The rest comes out onto Aqua, and it's a 6v2, 6v1. It's just oh whoa, and the cap does come out. It's gonna be Powerhouse taking up the series 2-1.
Oh, I really think the ultimate, the character, basically, the player focus right there was a bit off from Vertigo. And I'm just going to continue after really talking about this amazing play of the game right here. I believe this is when Kit got a huge bomb, literally landing out 3 people. The Pichu bomb, as we like to call it. Just look at that, boom. Just deleting even Laser, who was actually trying to delete the backline using his Death Blossom. But I have to say, the Vault Sky Industry, that was so close. And for a second there, Vertigo did look like they had a chance on taking, literally stalling out the whole 5 minutes. But what happened was, yeah, I think the ultimate choice from Stake was a bit not the best choice, because remember, he is Farah. He does have the rocket barrage, and he chose to barrage the Kit, who was actually playing Sigma at that time. Sigma has literally a built-in defense matrix. That's literally what he did. Looked up, used his ability, ate every single rocket that came out from Stake. So I think if Stake focused somebody else, maybe even blast cone himself over to a different target and used that ultimate, they would have gotten a much better result, because the picks were there. And on the side of Powerhouse, the ultimate positioning weren't the best too. So really unfortunate that what happened there. But other than that, still, like you said, don't let the numbers fool you guys. This game, all these games so far has been super close. Both teams really playing their hearts out and doing as much as they can, as we've seen. And now talking about playing their hearts out, next map we have Kings Row, and I don't think I need to talk anything anymore about this map, because this map is just one of the favorites of all of us.
Yeah, the famous Squims Row. This series continuing to be very even though Powerhouse was up 5 minutes and 14 seconds. Vertigo were able to hold on for about 3 minutes. Very great performance. If you're Vertigo, you don't get sad about that. You definitely got to keep on. You're still in the series. Though you're down 2-1, this could easily draw or win for Vertigo. You really want to go to that fifth map in here. You don't want to fall to King's Row. This, even if you lose here, you want to make it close. You want to make the map differential close, because you have to be at this point in the season. You have to be thinking about the playoffs run. We don't have that much time left, and these matches matter.
They really do. And, map difference is a big deal coming into playoffs, and especially points. So I think what you're saying is that, at least making these maps close is definitely a thing that both teams should be talking about. Looks like we do have the swap back again. Mr. CEO Kill will get opted out for Dad, the returning Zenyatta player. But I personally think Mr. CEO Kill did a very good job of playing that Zenyatta, landing those headshots, winning pretty much every single 1v1 that the Sombra from Stake really opposed him. Every single time he won that 1v1, landed his shots or evaded the Sombra. So I think that he was performing really well on that Zenyatta role, keeping himself alive and making sure his team doesn't have to fall back and maybe support him and lose the high ground or any ground advantage. So Powerhouse so far looking quite strong, but Vertigo also have, they also want to answer back and really clap back at Powerhouse. But other than that, it just feels like Powerhouse a little bit better. They're just coming out a little bit on top, and it's very hard to pinpoint out. But I'm pretty sure Mob, like, so far it's just been the little things.
Yeah, little things definitely putting Powerhouse ahead. But looking forward beyond this match, week 7 and 8, Powerhouse, this match is so integral. Their next two matches come against Tokyo Drifters and Plat Chat, two top three teams, with Tokyo Drifters still being
Ooh.
undefeated as of right now. Um, so very hard matches to come. I think if they do end up losing this series, they might finish bottom of the standings. Vertigo having a challenge match against Platchat as well, but the second one coming against Kingdom Come, probably not as difficult as the currently undefeated Tokyo Drifters. For Powerhouse, this is a do or die match. This is, if you can't win this, you have to win two of probably the hardest matches that you've had so far this season.
Yeah, and very unlucky for Powerhouse. So if they could take this win here, that's definitely a plus point. But as you said, they definitely Vertigo, definitely don't have a more of a difficult run as Powerhouse will for the next two weeks. And maybe, yeah, who knows? Maybe Powerhouse will defeat Tokyo Drifter. I always love the the underdog storyline. So let's see what happens, and I'll go for it. I'm not gonna bet anything, but I'll definitely root for it. But it looks like all the R's are being typed out in the chat, so that means the teams are ready to roll out in our Skims Row team map. So I'm excited to see what they play because we've seen some touch of hints of Farah, and I do always like to see Farah in this map because it's just like I talked about, different elevations, a lot of verticality. You could play around so many buildings and just play around line of sight. So Farah wouldn't be a very bad choice if Vertigo could take care of Lighthouse from the side of Powerhouse, because he has been a menace on that Ash, hitting those shots as he needs. But look at that. It looks like Powerhouse will be actually going into the Ryan Zarya and a touch of Shadow Dive composition with the Reaper and Sombra. But other than that, double snipers coming out from the attacker side on Vertigo, running that Widow from Stake, and Bobby being on that Hanzo. So a lot of pick potential from the side of Vertigo, but a solid defense, what I'm seeing from the side of Powerhouse.
Yeah, definitely some powerful performance we've seen. This compositional defense is definitely going to play out to its wit's end, if you will. This Hanzo might be able to find a quick pick. Just Sonar trying to find out what they're running, as they haven't revealed it yet.
Yeah, but just a quick little hack comes out here. Stake just teleports back. Doesn't even matter. Operax is not currently in the fight, but Lighthouse taking a lot of damage. But other than that, I'll hand it over to you, Mop.
Yeah, interesting. We've actually seen the main tank and off tank switch for this Vine Zarya composition. Probably what the team is more favorable on. But they're all getting pushed back by the Shadow Dive. Really hard to pressure outside of it. Basically, a mirror match except for the tank battle. And that's really the big difference here. Coalescence coming out from Dad very early. LPN still trying to catch up.
No.
This kid actually is the one to get melted. Coalescence coming up from the other side. LPN able to keep it going. The Lighthouse not able to put out enough damage. Though they are healed up, they're still down the main tank. An early grab actually is available for Aqua. Lilac does fall. I don't know if the grab is worth using here, as Aqua falls and it's going to be 0.8 cap for Vertigo.
Do we think we have maybe a map 5 in our hands? You didn't predict 4-4 draw, so this could be it.
Yeah, a map 4 could definitely. I mean, a map 5 could come out. I think it's very prevalent. You could see if Vertigo continues to play like that, and especially against this Vine Zarya. You have to know how to play against Vine Zarya on King's Row with the Shadow Dive. Shadow Dive does end up beating it out.
Yeah, and look at the ultimates from the side of Vertigo too. They have so many checks on the board right now, where literally only one ultimate is available from
EMP self-destruct. Manny finding 3. What a bomb.
That was a beautiful combo right
jealous.
there. Beautiful bomb.
EMP and EMP bomb, the duo known to time.
Yeah, you can't really just... EMP is just such a good ultimate to combo off anything, because with the best thing about Shadow Dive is the fact that when you have the EMP ready, there's so many options you could pull out. You could do EMP, Dead Blossom, and EMP Bomb, but look at that. Powerhouse stepping it up. They can't give this point up for free.
A grab comes out. They have the EMP. It comes out. It finds 4, but it's not enough.
Oh, the shatter!
What a nice shadow coming out from Kid. Death Blossom from Lighthouse is also comes out. The hack comes as well, but okay, Powerhouse, you won the fight, but you used 5 ultimates to do it.
So much ultimates being used right there, and only Dad has access to his coalescence. But look at the side of literally Vertigo. They have has his primal rage ready, and more importantly, Bobby has his Dead Blossom ready. So now if he lands the Dead Blossom, this will be a devastating loss for the point fight right here.
Yeah, without a diva on the side of Powerhouse, it's really hard to deny the Death Blossom value.
Definitely is. Looks like they're just lurking around. The dive finally comes in. The bubbles are being used.
Winston zapping from the high ground. Coalescence coming out from Dad. Bobby Schwarm is hacked. They know he has that Death Blossom. Opa finding Stake with the Death Blossom coming out, but he gets booped into the air. The charge finds him. What a charge from Kit. He's able to keep it up. Manny is hacked. Primal not able to do very much against the Reaper in his face. and it's actually going to be Powerhouse holding on and actually rebuilding those ultimates that they invested 2 fights ago. Now that actually the ultimate pendulum swinging back in the side of pendulum. I mean Powerhouse.
Wow,
She's
what a play right there. Like I definitely thought Powerhouse lost that fight, but they proved us wrong. Definitely a close one right there. Oprox does have access to his EMP at this point. Lighthouse almost building up to that Death Blossom. Kit also has Shatter ready with Aqua assisting him with the grab. So I think this next fight should be a win for Powerhouse, but the upsets has been seeing left and right. They're setting up for the fight, and they will be going in shortly.
early coalescence. Oh, Oppo gets fined
Oh
for the huge
my
shatter.
lord!
Huge shadow finds Bobby. Both one DPS down for both sides, but Lifehouse following again. The self-destruct getting thrown into the back right on top of the Lucio. Lucio falling and they're stuck inside the train station. Reinhardt and the Zarya, the duo, the EMP invested by Stock, maybe not even needed, but just to secure that Vertigo cap point B with 3 minutes left on the clock.
It looked so good, Mob. It looked so good. They had the ultimate advantage, but things just did not seem to connect. But look at that. They still have Oprox still has his EMP ready, and Lighthouse has the Dead Blossom. So I'm guessing that will be the combo coming in for this next contention between the two teams.
Death Blossom coming in here. EMP Death Blossom coming out, and it's big. They're using two ultimates. Two ultimates. The number. I cannot speak. The perfect number to use to hold on. EMP Blossom, yet another very prevalent combo. Lighthouse finding 4, maybe even 5 in the fight. Now they have Grab and Coalescence. Tunic still holding on to that sound barrier to negate this grab coming out from Aqua.
Yeah, and look at that. Kit could definitely benefit off of this grab that might come out from Aqua in this team fight because he could build up his ultimate. A hack comes on the Tunic, but nothing big. Oh, maybe a beat. There you go.
Yeah, what an incredible beat from Tunic, finding all 6 to deny value of the grab, but a huge shadow coming up from Kit. He charges through, but he finds the Primal, not really a lot of health that, a lot of health that they can burn through, as Lighthouse gets picked up by Bobby. Bobby just popping off, Lilac following him to the grave. Owa continuing to go aggressive on the Winston. Opa trying to translocate away from him, but the Winston cleave is just too much for them to handle. Kit trying to backpedal the shield up, falls immediately after. Dad, no fade. Falling back, Lilac does rejoin them, able to keep it alive. Monty pays with the mech for that overextension, but the cart is aiming towards the end. Another grab comes online. What speed and charging that grab. The Death Blossom for Bobby though prevents value and finds Lilac. I can't believe it. They built up a grab so quick and they weren't able to get value. Opa is hacked. Lighthouse with the Death Blossom. Another shatter pattern, and the Lighthouse finds yet another huge Blossom. 3 in the back. Coalesce is invested by LPN, but this fight is already lost.
What is going on? Powerhouse was able to build 2 ultimates off of that one fight. Aqua built his Graviton Surge, and Kit was able to. He just used his Shatter, and then he built the Shatter back up again. Not to mention Lighthouse getting that huge. Oh my God! Look at that value from the Shatter.
Oh. Yeah, Shadow just used to secure that fight. You know you're gonna have to hold that. Opa building a time. Saving time for Opa to get that EMP. Both support lines, support ultimates coming online for the side of Powerhouse. But this EMP could be huge. If Stock is able to find Lilac and Opa with his EMP. Oh, but the EMP comes early.
Tunic needs to get killed right here.
Yeah, you definitely have to just back out and regroup. Wait, there's someone on cart. They see him though. They see it. They see it. Yeah. Stock not gonna get the C9. Able to get out. But wait, they went back because of the C9. They left the front line exposed. Aqua does get picked by Bobby. Now they can come back in with the beat for sustain. The Coalescence is gonna use the stacking support ultimates. The EMP coming out. Lilac uses the beat to sustain through that EMP. Aqua already has another grab online. Kit building up to the shadow. The grab comes into the back. Kit lays on the shadow, but it gets blocked. But the shadow comes back and plucks as well. Stock finding nobody after falling to the grave. Tunic dying. Bobby on cart finding Lilac, and it's going to be Vertigo capping in overtime. What a play!
Wow!
Stock
what a big brain!
C9.
What a big brain move from Stake right there, forcing the entire team to move back. And you have to give it to Vertigo for actually taking advantage of that move right there from Powerhouse, just making sure while the team is backing out, they get a pick or two, and that's what they did, deleting Aqua, a Zarya, who is a very important member of this lineup. Deleting him, that meant that they have a fight in the hands of themselves. That's what they did. They took that advantage and went with it, and that's what I'm really liking from these two teams. They are really playing until the very end, and now we have to see a
Oh
very,
no!
very impressive attack
Don't tell
from the
me they're
side
gonna
of
do it.
Powerhouse.
Powerhouse, are they going to do the coveted TP the Bastion on top of the statue strategy? We would have to see a Sigma for it to really work. Maybe a Baptiste as well. I think they're just messing with us. But
I
we
would
will
love to
see
see
on
it.
this defense. I would love to see it as well.
I would love
I
to see it.
The defense from Vertigo is still running what they were doing so well on the attack. We'll see.
Yeah, this will be very interesting if they do want to go with it, but looks like they are switching. No,
They are
wait,
gonna
there's
do
a
it.
Sigma. There is a Sigma swap.
They're doing it.
Huh.
Oh, had to have seen that. They can see the teleporter up top. They know what's happening.
No, Sigma falls. Sigma
Sigma
fell.
falls. The hack not able to come out because it's used early stock. Not able to really find the hack. His
Oh, the
stock
damage
actually
has
died
been
to the
done.
turret. The Symmetra beam plus the Bastion is just too much for the shield, and he immediately falls onto the line. The Reaper falling as well, and it's actually going to be Powerhouse using the Bastion strategy to cap point A. Oh my.
Oh no, this has to be in the this has to be in the League Zero countdown moment. This has to be it. We have to talk about that. This is definitely a
And now they
moment we
can go
want
up
to see.
there.
Oh no, this is such a good play from Powerhouse. I love what I'm seeing right now. There is a Junkrat swap that's coming out from Bobby. Maybe um to really work with the Bastion, but look at that, the teleporter comes in, the Sigma goes in, and this is very interesting what I'm seeing.
Yeah, this position is so hard to hit from up here. You think the statue is hard to deal with? This one's even worse. Because now there's enough room for them to stay up there, but they actually opt to drop. This Junkrat's going to provide a lot of pressure onto Lighthouse. But I think the pressure might be on Vertigo instead. With both Coalescence being used, it's going to be an ultimate game. Kid building up to the Shadow Stock, trying to find a hack on the Lighthouse. Lighthouse getting pressured so much. The big Shadow coming out from Kit stops the pressure in his tracks. Lighthouse does fall, but it doesn't really matter. Oh, with only two ultimates, Powerhouse is able to keep going.
Vertigo was so concerned about Lighthouse on the Bastion. They were so, they spent so much attention on that they forgot the fact that, you literally have Kit who's just spamming his cleavage, getting those ultimate charge. He could just throw out his ultimate, and look at this. Lighthouse has his ultimate ready. This could be huge.
Wait, I don't think they used the beat, and they are actually able to touch the ultimate coming out from a lot of different people. The wall splitting them in half, able to deny value from the beat. Lighthouse popping off with the Bastion ult. The Shadow is huge, but it's not enough, and they're going to be able to cap B as well, and continuing the Bastion, the terror. You thought Omnix won allowed in Kingswell, well, now it's ruled by one. Lighthouse just destroying on this Bastion. Stock actually taking over to a Farah to deal with it.
Now this is very interesting stuff. Oh no, he gets booped off. Lighthouse gets booped off from the high ground. Now I like the Pharah usage right here. They're literally just using it to displace the Lighthouse as much as possible. And the Riptire comes out. Can they blow it up?
Grab Riptire. They don't even need the Riptire. Everyone's already dead. Riptire's going into the spawn.
Wow, that's a lot of red.
Oh, it's chasing.
On the kill feed, and I think this is the time where you want to switch off. Yep, there you go. I was going to. This might be the time to switch off of that Bastion pick, but the damage has been done, Mob, taking both those points, and now they have 4 minutes.
Five,
basically. Basically 5 minutes to work with just 1 point, and looks like Operax will be going over to the McCree to deal with the Pharah from Stake, and Lighthouse will be sticking to his so-called Reaper pick that he's been doing so well with the Death Blossoms.
Yeah, the finally switch off Bastion is definitely a breath of fresh air if you're a Vertigo fan. The Shadow comes out, finding Tunic in the back. It's finding 2. This is not looking good. Two though, clap back. Bobby popping off in the backline. Stock just uncontested on that fair. McQueen not able to deal with it. Stock just in the back on the fair, trying to find the mega and put it on the point. Powerhouse is still cleaning through. The barrage coming out, finds Lighthouse in the back. Stock finding Kit as well, as that's going to be Vertigo popping off and clutching it out. Stock, what amazing plays, keeping them in this round. I would like to point out, if Powerhouse is able to cap this with at least 1 minute left, if you are Vertigo, you have to bring this. If you want to win, you'd have to bring it to a map 6.
Wow.
So this is a do or die.
Yeah, this is definitely a do or die, but Luke, LPN does have the coalescence ready, so that might be a fight starter. Oh,
Beat comes out. Oh, switching over to the ball, just to recontest the coalescence. Beaming down, Kit is trapped. Stock finding Opa, but Lilac knocks off Bobby. Lighthouse is trying to pop off. Just, almost knocked off. LPN just trying to heal on that Moira, delaying as much as he can. Monty on point. A huge boop. Moira was knocked off the map. Monty does get knocked on the map, but that gives enough to get on the mines. Aqua is pressured out. Lighthouse going huge on that Death Blossom. The Soundberry, though, is keeping the sustain up for the side of Vertigo, as the Doomfist does follow Tunic, finding Aqua. Not a lot of players left online for both teams, but it's going to be Powerhouse capping with 2 minutes 55, meaning if Vertigo, if you want to win, you have to not only hold for 2.5 to 3 minutes, basically, not only win a map 5, but also win a map 6.
That is crazy. We're talking about right here. Definitely a valiant effort from Vertigo, but Powerhouse has just been a step ahead when it comes to composition. Every single time we're seeing, whenever it's a win, it comes from Powerhouse just big braining their composition play right here, using that, utilizing that Bastion teleport Bastion composition on top of the statue with a Sigma. Even though the Sigma fell, the damage was done early, and now Bobby on that may be looking for some freezes or even some cutoff between the both teams. But other than that, I'm liking what I'm seeing. And
Yeah,
do you think Vertigo will be expecting the same strategy again from Powerhouse?
It's almost like a double or even triple negative. Powerhouse is obviously rolled A, so Vertigo would think they do it again. So then Vertigo would try and counter it, and if Powerhouse know that, then Powerhouse will run not it. But if Vertigo know that Powerhouse are going to run not it because they know they would be easily countered, then Vertigo will just play normal. It looks like we're going with Vertigo just playing a normal comfort pick on a lot of their main characters. They're going to run it again. Let's see if they can deal with it better. If not, this series is over.
They definitely know that they're running this composition because they had some scouting done early enough. And look at that, Diva tries to go in, but will be burnt down. So much of damage done, and Ash trying to do her thing across map, and that's just so much space giving out just because of Lighthouse. He just goes back to his position, and he'll reposition again.
And while they're so focused on the Bastion in the back, they're able to push forward. It is actually tied 1-1. LPN for Lighthouse. As the res don't come out, but Owo getting not really a lot of value. Monty getting knocked out of the mech immediately. Pinned Lilac finding Tunic. And it's going to be Powerhouse taking the series 3-1. A valiant effort for Vertigo, but Powerhouse just seemed to want it more.
Yes, and we really have to give it to Powerhouse right here for playing that amazing strategy, making it work. So much space coming out, but this is where I wanted to talk about Lilac getting two crucial boops. Not only one, getting Bobby off the map, and then even another boop on the opposing Lucio. That's just so much utility and healing denied. That is just a great play coming out from from the side of Lilac. They did a really good job of making that work. Now, other than that, definitely kudos to Powerhouse for taking this series 3-1. And I have to say, Mob, I'm thinking of only one person when it comes to interviewing them. They have been an outstanding performance throughout the entire series, and I think you already know their name.
Yeah, I think we definitely can agree that we want that interview. I think I'll just try to work on getting them in here.
Yes, and
Hello? Sai having a little bit of technical issues, but I think we both do agree Aqua has been so integral on this been popping off like on that racquetball since the beginning. Um, it's been great. I think running the racquetball into it and also having the adaptability to switch over it. It was great. Um,
Yeah, it looks like a little suggestion coming out from the team themselves, actually, trying out for a different interview. But yeah, it looks like Aqua actually also agree to for Kit to have this interview. So let's go ahead, Kit. How are you doing? By the way, congratulations on this win. I know you guys had a very rough series or season so far, I should say. How does it feel to finally take down Vertigo, one of your neighbors in the seed?
Oh, lots of fun. Love this team. Everyone's having a good time, even when we're not necessarily doing the best, and it creates a great environment. So we're happy we won finally.
yeah,
Definitely, that's what really matters, and I think the mentality is definitely what you want to have. Other than that, I'll definitely throw over to my co-caster Mob for this next question.
yeah. I just want to know who was it on the team? Was it a pre-made strategy or was it an in-game call for the Bastion?
Okay, listen. We've been doing the same strat from the very beginning, and it has never failed us. 100% success rate. We run it nonstop. Nobody knows what to do against it.
I will say I remember casting you guys previously, and it was the first time I've ever seen it work, and now you've made it the second. I think they definitely will have to adapt to that.
Even all the matches that we've lost, like even the one we get absolutely rolled, still first point, King's Row, easiest take of our lives.
Yeah, very. I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
Now, looking forward from this victory, you're now not the bottom seeds, or you never were, but you have secured yourself as not being the bottom seed currently.
Hell
But
yeah.
next week, you have a very tough match against the still currently undefeated Tokyo Drifters. Do you have any set strategy or game plan going into that match?
I think we still have a lot of stuff to work on that we're well aware of. Where if we can improve on it, we're definitely going to be a lot stronger. And I think we're definitely going on the uphill. Over the past few weeks, we've improved a lot, and we're getting a lot of team synergy, especially since we've changed around a lot of the players. So I don't know how the
Yeah.
match is going to go, but I'm very confident in our team, and it's still just a lot of fun, regardless.
Yeah, I would like to say to everyone watching the stream and to you as a player, I would like to announce Tokyo Drifters beat Plat Chat 3-1 in the match, making
Ooh,
them 5-0 for the season with a differential of 15-4.
damn.
Very scary. Do you have any questions, Sai?
no, I think this is a great way to lead us off to this this tournament or this game that we had so far. I have no more questions. I think thank you so much, Kit, for coming out for this interview. I think you guys had a stellar performance. You, Lighthouse, Lilac, everybody, even Dad
Everybody,
and Aqua played amazingly.
even
Uh,
Dad. Wow.
Yeah,
That
everybody
played
had.
great.
I mean, even Mr. Studio Kill, the only game he played, he stood out there. And we're talking about him. So everybody who played today had a stellar performance. Everyone had their moments. A lot of fun casting this game. So again, congrats on winning this, and best of luck to your next week's
Thank you
match.
so much. Very proud of this team.
Really nice to know. A really nice environment coming in from the team. But other than that, thank you so much for everybody for watching our stream, the games for week 3. But other than that, we are done here. And if you want, please check us. If you missed anything, if you joined late, be sure to go to League Zero's YouTube channel and check out all their VODs. We upload all the games, even the ones that are not streamed. So definitely check them out. And other than that, thank you so much for having us today. My name is Sai, and I'm here with my lovely co-caster Mob. And from us, we will be saying good night.
Good night.
Good night.